Is that on? Is that on yet?
Yeah.
Do you reckon that's on?
I reckon that's on.
Yeah, is that on?
Live.
Where does it say that?
You're going
Oh, I'm in the corner.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Hello, Facebook world. And I tell you what, on the 12th day of Christmas, Scotty said to me, thank you for doing your best right now. And I'm just, my heart is extraordinarily full because we've gotten through 2,400 heartfelt connections. That's connections from my heart to yours, and I'm just over the moon with it. I've got two beautiful people here with me, Andrea and Alan, both big parts of the business of Smiles. Shorty and John have taken off back home, and it's sort of like, although it was a big thing, it's almost over. You know, I've got one more session where we're going to hand out 100 more socks in Frankston, but so it's been a massive effort. But before we go into that, I really want to share today's effort. Well, even last night, because last night we changed it up. We didn't go during the day. We went out during the night and hit the streets of Frankston during the night. And we went into a special bar that actually was really supportive of what we were doing. So I wanted to go and thank them for that. And we socked it to them. Didn't we? What? So I'm going to shoot over to Andrea first because we don't often hear from Andrea, and I'd like to hear from her a little bit more. But last night we went out to dinner, Andrea, and we had a lot from our community, our Smiles team.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing night.
It was fantastic to meet everyone from the team and put an actual body to the faces that we see online. It was fantastic, and we all got together and have a chat and learn a bit more about each other and hear our own stories, which was lovely.
Yeah, and look, and we all have not just. We actually have the back of the head.
That's the part that I really look for. I just looked around the table and I went, aha, there's more than just the face. There is the rest of the head.
Well, but sitting at the table last night was a very special moment for me because I had the opportunity. I was just sitting there. We're having dinner, and a beautiful dinner. Thank you to Ginseng Restaurant in Frankston. What an extraordinary night. And just David from Ginseng Restaurant. So I get there. There's 18 of us sitting down to a meal, and I've got in there. I don't know how we do this. He's just gone, Scott, I've got this. I do this. You just let me do it. And I'm like, awesome. So he just rearranged the tables, just changed things a little bit to make sure that we were good. And I want to honor that. But I was sitting there at the table. I got the opportunity to look around the table and to see the people that support me. And I got the opportunity to thank them because it was such a special moment. But after dinner, and I'm like, actually, I won't finish there. How was dinner for you last night with the community of people that really just support?
Beautiful. It was lovely. And the David that looked after us, he just brought out different things that we all shared, and it was lovely. Really great.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
So, and then Papa, dinner for you?
His staff were fantastic. You know, they just fitted in really well, looked after us, and nothing was a problem. The selection of food, and I think the special thing was that we didn't have our individual plates. We shared everything.
Yeah.
And it was not just the sharing of food, but it connected to all the other sharing that we've been doing as well.
That's it.
Yeah, and I mean, look, it filled our hearts, which was really nice because we're giving so much at the moment. To receive from David was outstanding. So, but then we finished up our dinner. It was a great dinner. And then we hit the streets. So, Andrea, what was your biggest win from last night?
Just meeting the people and listening to them, finding that connection with them, hearing their stories, offering them something at Christmas time. Everyone's pretty spent, so having that opportunity to give somebody a pair of socks and explain the meaning behind them, that we do all have dark days and that there's sunshine on our back and there's a community and friends around us supporting us. I think that spreads a good message. And you imagine we've given out by the end of today 2,500 socks, and that message will get spread to others. Every pair of socks we've given, you know, they might touch 4 or 5 other hearts. So that's a lot of messages we're getting out there, which is really lovely.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. And then so today, like we actually so far we've stayed away from the big shopping districts and we've actually gone on the little shops on the outskirts, which has been really different, and received really well. But
so much differently, and then I think people were more open to receive there and more thankful as we're going through and seeing those, and we did see in some of the larger groups. It's like the pub the night before. I'm telling you what, next time we go into a place like that, we'd have more socks with us.
We did, yeah.
I was handing out socks, and I got to think about this one, whether I dislike it or like it. I got chased by so many young women who wanted socks because I didn't have enough.
Yeah.
So, but putting all that aside, it was just so wonderful to have people just open up, and got to today handing them out. We also noticed that as we walked up to people, who just stopped and they were ready to talk.
Yeah.
Whereas before, first a couple of days earlier, we found that people were even turning away as we walked up.
Yeah, very much so.
Today I found them a lot more open, and my God, we went through 200 pairs of socks in how long?
Yeah, not long. So, but it's not. I just want to grab that right because yes, it's the socks, but the socks are our tool. They're the thing we use to connect to people's heart, right? So we talk about socks, how many connections in the socks, but it's actually the heartfelt connection, the way people feel when we leave them. That's the extraordinary part. So last night I had some amazing stuff. Like not only the dinner was extraordinary, but there's one guy in particular that I really want to honour. His name's Simon, and we sat and had a conversation, and quite a deep one. And I want to honour him, and I'm hoping at some point he gets to see this. Touch wood, because mate, you shared your heart with me, and you gifted me more connection, but also you live in my heart now. Okay, so there's a story there that it's a private moment, but I just want you to know you live in my heart too. So I really want to honour you and thank you for that. So moving along till today, actually, I'm going to share. We walked up to the bar. And I've walked up straight because I wanted to get one of the things we always do is ask permission before we go in, because it's not our place. So it's really important we do that.
That's it.
So I've gone up to the bouncer at the door. Said, "G'day, mate, how are you? I feel like socking it to you." And he goes, "What?" I said, "I feel like socking it to you." I pulled out the socks. He's just like, "You wanker." But it was actually fantastic. But I think they're asking that permission is really important. So, we socked it to everyone in there.
Well, as you said, the time it takes to hand somebody a pair of socks is not very long at all.
Yeah.
But we found ourselves talking to people for a considerable amount of time, multiples of that.
Yeah.
As you said, the socks are only a tool. Yes, we handed out, when we say we've handed out 2.5, or we will have handed by the day, handed out 2,500 pairs of socks. What that's really saying is we had 2,500 conversations.
Correct.
As you said, they're just a tool, they're the catalyst. It's something that people look at, it's get their attention to have a look at it. Then we can have that conversation. And we generally find that we're not standing face to face like this. But as we're talking about it, very quickly we're around by the side with them.
Yeah.
And we're looking there and talking about the socks, and we're actually looking in the same direction. We're no longer looking at each other like this.
Very much so. And that opens the opportunity, doesn't it?
That's
so let's talk about the opportunities today, because I like hitting up the shops on the outskirts was really good, and we hit some big things. But what was your favourite moment today? It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of special people, and they appreciate the message that we're giving them, and that they are going away feeling recognised and supported and understood. So there's just too many special moments to pick out one.
Well, I understand that, because it's a really special thing, and it's actually not that easy to actually walk the streets and give people a pair of socks, because you've got to have a confidence in yourself to be able to project the message, to be able to say thank you. All your insecurities come up. So one of the, I love walking with Andrea. We've done quite a few of them now, and she's amazing at just connecting to people. And I just want to honor you for that, Andrea.
Thank you.
It's really, I love doing it with you, and I look forward to doing a lot more. Papa, what was your favorite moment today?
Oh, I think sometimes, we came out of one of the cafes, or one of the bars, what are called milk bars, and 2 bottles of water were given to us. And Scott just looked at me and went, "Where's mine?"
Yeah.
Then I came out of another shop with donuts. It's like just a look on your face. But you did get that improved, because when you went into the florist, you got that big sunflower and you walked around with that, and that just started so many conversations as well.
And isn't that the beautiful thing, right? To be gifted a sunflower, which like we're talking a sunflower, right? big sunflower. So I'm walking around spreading the sun, which is what we talk about. But yeah, so I've got a moment today that really, really, really filled my heart. And how do you know if you're making a difference, right? And you never really know whether or not you're actually making a difference. But every now and then, something tells you that you really are. So we're just packing up in the car. This lady pulls up. Toot, toot. Oi, are you Sock Man? I'm like, yeah, I am. How are you? She's gone, I've heard about you. I've seen you everywhere. I said, bring him. She goes, may I have a pair of socks, please? I said, of course you can. And we went through a conversation. And I tell you what, this lady lives in my heart so much so. She's had an opportunity or two that she's really working through at the moment. And to be able to just share a smile, a moment in time, and hold up all that traffic, I think was absolutely wonderful. But it was a true heartfelt connection. And she already put up a comment on Facebook and shared with us her heart.
Excellent.
So, and that's one of the things that I'll talk a little bit about later tonight. But if you have been impacted by what we've done over the last 12 days, I'd really love to hear about it. I'd love to know how you felt. I'd love to know what feels good for you, because this is something that we're trying to create a movement here. We're trying to create connection. We're trying to re-embrace our beautiful communities. We actually need your help. If we touched your heart and the socks have reached it, please let us know. Send us an email. Put a comment on the stalk or Facebook.
At the end of the day, the handing out of the socks, what we've done is the catalyst is the beginning of it, the things that you want to create next year. And that's, as Scott has said, we'd love to hear what you've got out of it, because that gives Scott more understanding of what's needed, so we can keep giving it and give it to other things and not just socks on their own.
Yeah. Well, we're starting Smiles for Life next year, and I can't wait for that. Smiles for Life is going to be a mentoring program. I will be available every Friday. Date to start, I'll let you know. I'll be in the Bayside Community Kitchen. Come and have a coffee with me. Come and have a yarn. I think that's really important. The other thing is Smiles for Life. Now, Smiles for Life it's going to be starting with a men's group, because one of the things that I've noticed in Frankston, there is not enough groups for men to be men and safe places. And there's a reason why that's so important. And the reason is men are learning to communicate, and I think we're doing a fantastic job, but we need a safe place to practice it. Because like when we learn to walk, we fall over a lot, right? And then all of a sudden we're able to walk. Yeah. So if we learn to practice our conversations before we project them on the ones we love, then we're going to be in a better position. We're going to be able to understand each other a bit more. Yeah. Because we're worth it.
Because with these as well, what it means is that there's not just a men's group, it's the way in which this is done in connecting with the men, so they understand their roles, how they can be better there for their families, their children, their communities, etc. Yeah. It helps the men to become better men, and the recipients are everybody else around them. It's not just the men going off and being the best themselves.
Yeah, 100%. And we together, we together.
That's it.
So I'm going to wrap this up. Andrea, any final words that you'd like to gift people? Because your heart just you just keep putting it forward, and
I was just thinking with you guys talking about the men, that's so evident. We gave a pair of socks to a fellow probably mid-20s today, and he commented how it's so good that there are guys out there connecting with other guys and putting that thought out there that we do have dark days and being supportive, and that was great. So, that the more we promote this and put connections out there with people and let them know that just smiling at someone in the street can really make their day. So, if you get the opportunity to support the business of Smiles, by all means do. It's a great little cause.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you for being such a big part of it. So, Papa, any words?
Well, I just have Andrea repeat what she's just said, and I think it's the best place to finish off with what Andrea said about, it's not just about individuals, it's about the community, etc. It's Christmas time. What I'd just like to say to you, have a wonderful Christmas, connect with your family, have meaningful conversations with them, because everybody deserves to have those connections.
Beautiful. On
Perfect.
that note, I will be turning up later, probably with probably with a lot of tears, because I this has been a humbling experience, and I tell you what, I love my community. I love the people in it, you know, and it's just been so many magical moments, and to think that I've been lucky enough to spend 12 days connecting with my community, but not just that. And people come from Shepparton, Newcastle, Byron Bay, Gold Coast, you know, all over the place to come and support our community. It's a pretty special thing. And this is the key to the Business of Smiles. We'll come to your community and we'll support you because you're worth it. So, yeah. All right, now I've got to find that bloody button.
It's there.
Whereabouts is
Right
it?
in.
Have you seen
Right
where it
up
is?
the top.
Hang on a second, Henry. Come and have a look.
It's up there.
No, it's whereabouts?
Yeah, no,
No,
over
where?
there.
There.